let's talk about some of those matchups that's coming up on that card. Of course, like you say, you want to, of course, you want to be the main event, but you want to sit down and enjoy some of that. You have Lara fighting what is his name?
Terrell Goucher.
Terrell Goucher. What you think about that one?
Terrell Goucher was if not an Olympian, he's an Olympian alternate, and he's a good fighter, a solid opponent. But as far as do I think he's ready for the type of fight with Lara? No, I don't think he's ready, and I think it's going to be a lot easier than people think it is for Lara. And that's not to take anything away from Terrell Goucher. I just don't think he's ready for. He haven't had any step up fights to face a opponent like Lara. So, but he can come out there and surprise us all. So,
yeah. How about the Charlo brother and Lubin?
Lubin, see, now that's a 50-50 fight because we don't really know what Eris and Lubin can do. Mm-hmm. It's kind of similar with Terrell Goucher, but the difference between Eris and Lubin is that the competition that they've both been fighting, Terrell Goucher and Lubin, are the same, but Lubin's been walking through his opponents. Terrell Goucher's been having a little trouble with his opponents. And
is it a little different from Jamal Charlo fighting Julian Williams? Because pretty much that's how Lubin and Williams can compare to this.
Exactly.
That's that big one, that one big step up, and it was for a championship.
Right. Yeah. That's what the fight reminded me of. I feel like, J-Rock, Julian Williams was the guy that everyone was saying the one that the face that was going to be Jamal Charlo's match, and when he got up there, Jamal Charlo walked through him. But like I said, Julian Williams didn't take the necessary fights before he got on that championship level. So I'm not sure if Eris Lubin's ready for this type of fight he's getting himself into with Jamal Charlo. But one thing about Lubin, he does have that one punch power that can change the fight around. And who knows if he can land it early. But I feel like when the fight go on, he's gonna Jamal Charlo is gonna be the one to take the win.
Yeah, and I think, like you said, I think fighting with Lubin, I haven't really seen him have to really box anybody. Right. He basically dominated people just with his power alone.
Exactly, yeah.
So it's a thing with opposition of opponents. Did he truly have those type of opponents to get him to this fight, this kind of fight right here?
Exactly. And we don't know what he's gonna do when he get hit back. So I mean, it's up in the air. We don't know. We're gonna figure out that night though. But if I had to put my last dollar on someone, I'm gonna go with Jamel because we have seen what he can do. Okay.
And of course, without giving anything away, yourself facing Austin Trout.
Oh yeah, well me, that's not 50-50. Nah, man, Austin Trout, man, he one thing about Austin Trout, he's a real respectful guy. We got a lot of love with Austin, but unfortunately, he's my next opponent, and we're taking this camp very seriously, and people are really doubting me in this fight because of my last performance, which I understand. People feel like if Tony Harrison could box how he was in the beginning of the round for 12 rounds, I would have been a bad night for me. And they feel as though Austin Trout can be that guy to box that way for 12 rounds. But, style-based fights, and, we got a game plan too. So at the end of the day, I want to not only go out there and get a unanimous decision victory, I want to be someone that was able to do something that his other three opponents that he lost to was not able to do. He had 3 tough fights, 3 tough losses against Jamal Charlo, Lara, and Canelo, and none of those guys were able to stop him. So going out there on that night and getting a stoppage is going to separate me from them guys and definitely put a name in the 154-pound division.
Yeah, what is it that you have different from those guys?
That punch. It's. I feel like this too. I feel like it's a difference going 12 rounds with Jarrett Hurd because, I mean, even though I'm not gonna say I'm the strongest fighter, I'm not gonna say the fastest fighter, I just feel like my pressure, from the pressure to the body attack to the pace I'm fighting, and it all plays a factor. And it's a difference going to 12 rounds for me than these other fighters.
So are we going to see a different Jarrett Hurd than we seen when you fought Galaza, then we fought what's the one after Galaza? Oscar Molina, and then eventually you end up fighting Jojo Dan, and then Tony Hurd. Is it going to be a combination of all those fighters, or just going to be something totally different just for Austin Trout?
It depends because, like I said, in all those fights you've seen a different Jarrett Hurd, and who knows what Jarrett Hurd, Austin Trout's going to bring out of me. So, I mean, if he causes the move, I may have to put the pressure on him and cut the ring off. If he tries to stand toe-to-toe, you may see the fight with, like, Oscar Molina when I fought on the inside. You know, if he tries to come at me, you may see a little bit of counter punching on my back foot like Frank Gallardo. So you never know what Jarrett Hurd you're going to get. It all depends on what Austin Trout will get.
And then one thing, you can do it all. So, you know,
Yeah.
and that's the advantage I give you, because you know how to adjust to your opponents,
Right.
and you don't get out of your game plan. Even though it might look a certain way on television, like everybody thought you were losing the fight on with the Tony Harrison fight.
Exactly, yeah.
You know, you already knew what your game plan was, and you stuck to it. You didn't get overly aggressive and get desperate, just even at towards the later rounds, because you knew at the later rounds your time was going to come, and then it came. You know, you were very patient, and you did a good job doing that. You know, if you would actually turn the fight on, and you didn't catch it from round one, you start seeing like in the middle of the second or third round, as a fan coming in, they was like, "Oh man, Tony Harrison is getting, beating this fight, blah blah blah,"
Yeah.
But then nobody knows the game plan other than you and your corner, even the commentators.
Right.
You in your pre-fight, your pre-fight meeting with the commentators and everything, you tell them, but they don't know exactly the initial game plan. They know what you're trying to do.
Exactly.
But that's why I think when Virgil Hunter, Virgil Hunter was putting the things together, he didn't see.
Right.
He just saw two boxers. One boxer was getting outboxed at that present time.
Yeah,
So it's a lot that you added to let me see that you have the potential to actually be patient, stick to your game plan, turn on the pressure when you need it.
Right.
And also, sometimes you have to take some rounds off so you can regenerate yourself to go to the next round,
Right, and that's the thing, too. That's the key thing, to sticking to the game plan and keep your composure. Because think about me during the fight. Going to the fight, I did feel like the rounds were close, and I was getting touched more than I have ever in any fight. So if people can get discouraged and get distracted off the game plan, they want to get anxious and just get those shots back. But I just kept my composure, and I knew the game plan, and we stuck to it, and I ended up getting the knockout that we was looking for.
There you have it. And that's became IBF champion, junior middleweight. And that championship, first defense, October 14th, at the Barclays Center up in New York.